Scott Walker's victory on Tuesday is absolutely crucial. What a bellwether for what's going to happen in the November election. That's what we'll talk about today at the lunch video. You know, there are polls, but then there are election results. And when you look at the fact that Scott Walker defeated his Democratic opponent in a heavily Democratic state, Wisconsin, Obama carried it by 14 points. And for Walker to win this on a pitched battle with the unions where they poured in everything they had is absolutely incredible. But it's historic on a couple of different levels. The first is we in a narrow little spectrum see it as the precursor, forerunner, foretaste, predictor of what's likely to happen in November. And that's fine. But its importance goes far beyond that. We have tried everything we possibly could to reform education in the United States. We've increased per pupil spending, adjusted for inflation, from $7,500 to over $10,000 in the last 20 years. We've dramatically increased the number of teachers. We've raised education standards. We've instituted national testing. We've identified the failing schools. We've pumped extra money into them. We've reduced class sizes by about 30% since the 1980s. None of it has worked. Absolutely none of it has worked. Test scores are still flat in reading and in math. There's only one alternative left, and that is to get rid of the bad teachers, pay the good ones based on merit, and give students a choice, parents a choice as to which school they should send their child to. Have competition, both teachers competing for jobs and higher pay, and schools competing for children to attend them. Let competition make the product better. That's the only way that we can do it. And if we do that, it's going to be incredibly good for this country. Completely change the dismal record we have in education. Now, the teachers' union fought that like crazy. And Walker passed a bill requiring those education reforms and also requiring union members to pay an increasing share, still less than the private sector, of their pensions and their health insurance. And then he had one other provision that has key implications. He said in this program that the state would no longer collect union dues. It was going to be between the union and the teacher would not lose his or her job if they failed to pay the union dues. Well, with that, the revenues to the teachers' union fell by 50%, and of course so did their political power. So the unions pulled out every stop they could to try to win this recall election, and they were defeated, decisively defeated, in a Democratic state. A large part of it is that voters were sick and fed up with the idea of recall. I mean, what are you going to do, vote every single year? It means your vote doesn't matter because somebody will sign a petition and your vote will be wiped out, he'll be recalled, and you have to do it all again. But a big part of it was an understanding that this is the way state and local governments have got to go, both to succeed economically and to succeed in their mandate of running good schools. So now state and local governments are freed, and all over America, you're going to see them copying the Wisconsin model. It's going to be a very productive thing. And the unions, which annually funnel over $200 million into Democratic Party coffers or into independent expenditures for Democratic candidates, aren't going to be able to do that anymore because they're just not going to have the money. The high water mark of public employee unionization was Tuesday, and the tide has begun to recede. Thank the Lord. Thanks very much for watching.